All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers in tonight's video because, folks, we are 8-3, 38-10 victory at home against the San Francisco 49ers this evening. I don't care that Brock Purdy didn't play. I don't care that Nick Bosa didn't play. I don't care if anyone or Niners fans have excuses. Any win against San Francisco, just like last week, any win against San Francisco, any win against the Chicago Bears, I don't care how it looks. I don't care what that final score is or how it got to that final score. All I care about is that the Green Bay Packers are on top. And folks, I'm telling you, it was a 38-10 game. And if you're supposed to take care of business when the opposing team is missing, one of the best edge rushers, one of the best defense players in the NFL, and if they're missing their starting quarterback, and you're supposed to take care of business, that's exactly what Green Bay did. Their defense was the bread and butter in the first half of the season, the first 6 games of the season. That's exactly what it was this evening. Jordan Love, don't let Jordan Love's statistics fool you. I've already gotten into this stupid petty argument with this dude on Twitter. Jordan Love was 13-23 for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. If Christian Watson could catch consistently, if he could catch reliably, that would be an extremely different stat line because Christian Watson, I think that was in the third quarter, had a easy walk-in touchdown and he dropped it. And maybe it was at the end of the first half or second. Yeah, it was at the end of the first half, towards the end of the second quarter. But point still stands, reminded me very much of that Vikings game a couple of years ago. But nonetheless, I still think Jordan Love played a good game. And I'm not here to nitpick. The Green Bay Packers against the Bears isn't even a rivalry. I'm 25. My biggest rivalry is Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers led by Kyle Shanahan. I will take a win any day of the week. That's what they did tonight. But folks, before we get any further into tonight's video, hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Obviously, I'm a biased. Try to not be too biased. Green Bay Packers fan, hit that like button. If we try and get this one to 400 likes, folks, that would mean the absolute world to me. Masterclass game. I really don't care if San Francisco is on its way out. I didn't care at Soldier Field last week if the Chicago Bears are a poor franchise. I'm well aware of it. I don't care if the Green Bay Packers shouldn't have won that football game. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Who cares? The Green Bay Packers are 8-3, and this was a game you literally, everyone, including myself, asked for. Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, 2 day one free agent acquisitions, something I've never really seen in my time as a Green Bay Packers fan on this planet. They've had, first off, phenomenal seasons up until this point, but they both had phenomenal games. So we'll start with Josh Jacobs. 26 carries for 106 yards, and most importantly, 3 total touchdowns against the San Francisco 49ers defense. Once again, I don't care that they're missing Nick Bosa. Lions fans don't care that they're missing Aiden Hutchinson. Teams who are losing to the Detroit Lions aren't just saying, or teams that are beating the Lions, no one's done that actually since September, so never mind. The Lions have been without Aiden Hutchinson for like a month and a half. Nobody cares. Nobody cares who's healthy. Nobody cares who's not healthy. All that matters to me, all that matters is the final score of the football game. And the Green Bay Packers won 38-10 against one of my biggest rivals, probably my biggest rival because Chicago's not really a rival, 38-10. So I don't care who's missing what. I don't really care. Josh Jacobs had a phenomenal game. The Green Bay Packers ran the ball 42 times for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns from Josh Jacobs. Romeo Doubs did unfortunately end up getting banged up. That was probably the only negative from this afternoon's game. 3 catches for 54 yards before he got injured. Jaden Reed, quiet night, 3 catches, 26 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Dontavian Wicks had a nice catch for 25 yards. Christian Watson got targeted 3 times. That touchdown drop is really annoying. It really is. And if this was like a playoff game, obviously we would have a much different opinion on this. Wide open. I know Packers fans and NFL fans love comparing him to MVS from a couple of seasons ago, but I'm still hopeful with Christian Watson. He was actually really hot heading into this football game. Sometimes you drop footballs. I'm kind of from the era where if the ball touches your hand, you got to catch it. So no excuses. But I do just want to say Christian Watson dropped a wide open touchdown, walk-in touchdown. And if he had caught it, people's opinions on Jordan Love would have been much different. If you think Jordan Love didn't play a good football game, you're probably younger than me. You're probably a little bit more nitpicky than most. And I think that's kind of the newer, younger generation. But people keep saying Jordan Love's regressing, and I know he didn't have the perfect, most beautiful game against a great defense, but I don't really care. I really do not care because he does what he needs to do when he needs to do it. But moving forward, the defense was, like we said at the beginning of this video, the bread and the butter of this game. The Chicago Bears game, I was begging for like an interception or a strip sack or something like that on that last possession. The Packers didn't have a takeaway in 3 of the last 4 games they played heading into this game. 3 turnovers tonight. This is now their 6th game this season with 3 or more takeaways. And I don't want to rely on the defense getting turnovers, but I just got to say Xavier McKinney, 7th interception on the season. He had a huge 4th down pass breakup. Carl Brooks, Kenny Clark with fumble recoveries that were led by Rashawn Gary. Actually, I think they carried that, but Rashawn Gary had a forced fumble. Lucas Van Ness had a strip sack that was pivotal. And Keyshawn Nixon, Javon Bullard had the initial tackle. Keyshawn Nixon gets it out with his hand, kind of like Peanut Charles Tillman. They forced 4 total fumbles because Cox actually technically had a fumble as well. So the Packers had like 4 forced fumbles in this afternoon, evening, depending on where you live, game. I live in Florida, so it's like 7:30 already by now. But the Green Bay Packers had the ball for 36 total minutes as opposed to Minnesota. Jesus, sorry, late night. 23 to San Francisco. They were 6 of 13 on 3rd down. They had 325 yards of total offense as opposed to San Francisco's 241. They had 169 rushing yards, like we said. Penalties were a big thing. We'll talk about more of that nitty-gritty X's and O stuff as the week progresses after this win, but the Packers only had 5 penalties for 40 yards. San Francisco had 9 for 77. I have a strong feeling San Francisco fans are going to be saying, oh, well, if Brock Purdy played, if Nick Bosa played, and if we didn't have all of those penalties, we would have won this game easily. And it's like, all right, cry me a river. We probably won't see in the playoffs because you guys probably aren't going to make it. And who cares? Because you guys aren't going to make the playoffs, hopefully. But if you do, I feel pretty confident that this Niners team is not like they were last year when they took down the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. So rapid reaction. That's it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content along with a bunch of Packers videos every single week. But guys, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, give me a team grade down below. And if you're feeling inclined, give me a player of the game in the comment section. That is it from me. 8-3, baby. Ain't no complaints from me. Peace.